Join me as I turn this into this, my DIY Easy Paper Dahlia.
Hello craft friends, welcome to Social Crafts. I am Casey Lum with the baby girl due in a few months, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really awesome, cool paper dahlia. This is a time where we're having to stay inside a little more and we need to maybe entertain our kids or maybe entertain ourselves. So this is a perfect craft for stuff that you already have probably around the house, to make a craft, to do something cool with stuff that you already have around the house. If you don't have colored paper, you can use newspaper, you can use magazines. I'm sure you have something around the house, you can make this. So super easy craft I'm going to show you today. If you've ever seen my videos before, you know that I love to show you them in fast forward first, just in case you're running short on time. So I'll show you it in fast forward. If you have time after, stick around and I will give you a full list of materials. Links are always included in the description below if you don't have anything. And then also a slower tutorial on how to achieve this craft. So let's show you in fast forward first. So welcome back. If you've never been here before, I love to just give you guys craft ideas to, one, obviously just do it individually if you want to do it individually, or to do them as a craft party. I always love to gather with friends, do these as a craft party, do them together. So just know that that is what my crafts are here for you to do. So keep that in mind. Also, we put out a new video every Wednesday, so please consider subscribing to help support my channel. You can subscribe below, ring the little bell icon, and you'll get all the alerts of when I post a new video. So without further ado, let's show you what you need for this craft. Basically, the basics of what you need is paper, scissors, and glue. Like, those are mostly what you need for this craft. I'll show you everything I use though. Paper, so just any paper you have around the house. I use 13 sheets of green copy paper. So 13 sheets, and that's to make 4 squares out of each sheet. So I use green copy paper. I used a piece of cardstock. If you happen to have cardstock or even like cardboard laying around, it's helpful to use to hold it together in the back. If you don't, you can use just paper. Paper is totally fine, it'll hold together. But if you have something a little more sturdy, it will help to hold it in the back. Also, a glue stick, like I said, a pencil or a pen, scissors. Scissors are necessary, so the things you need are paper, scissors, and a glue stick. And then a ruler is helpful to line up when you're first starting putting your dahlia together, but it's not necessary. And then a paper cutter. Paper cutter is super useful if to get just a really quick straight cut of a line and to make your squares out of the copy paper. But if you don't have it, don't worry, you can also just use a ruler or fold paper in half and cut it. You can use your imagination, but these are the things that I use for this craft. So without further ado, I think it's time to show you how I got started and how I did this craft. So let's show you.
So first we're going to cut our colored copy paper into 4-inch squares. If you're using a paper cutter, you can do this by just cutting off the ends. I like to make it an 8x8 paper and then make them into 4x4 squares. You want to do this with all 13 pieces of your colored paper. And if you don't have a paper cutter, you can simply use a ruler and scissors and a pencil, or even if you want to eyeball it, they don't have to be extremely perfect, but there are other ways to achieve this without a paper cutter if you don't have one. So just do this for the rest of the 13 pieces of paper, making 4" by 4" squares. Next, you're going to assemble each petal. Taking one piece of paper, diagonally meet one of the corners to the other corner and make a crease at one of the points. You're then going to take your glue stick, glue one of the edges that has the crease adjoined with it, fold the glued end on top of the other end, using that crease as a guide and making a cone. So you don't want to fold it, you just want to make a cone. Press the glued edge down to the other side, and there you go, you have one of your petals. So let's see that again. You're going to be doing this with all of the square pieces of paper. So then again, diagonally meet corner to corner on the paper, make a crease just at the tip there, glue one of the edges that has the crease on it, fold the glued edge over onto the other side using that crease as a guide and pressing down the glued side to make a cone. If you get a little bit of an open end at that point, it's not a big deal. You're not going to see that part anyway, so it doesn't have to be a closed point. So you just keep doing this for all of your squares. Next, once you have all of your petals made, we're going to make the base. And we're going to make a circle. You can totally eyeball this circle, but I'm going to show you a way to make a circle. So I'm making a 7" by 7" square just out of regular copy paper. I fold it in half, then fold it in half again, making a square. Right now I'm just making a guide to make a circle. So then you fold in half again, but making a triangle, so point to point. And then on the open side of the triangle, take that point and fold it so it's flat with the edge of the other side of the triangle. And then cut off that tip. And you can open it up and you basically have almost a circle shape. And this, if that's confusing, just rewind it and go ahead and look at the visual of how I did that. To explain it is a little complicated, but it's easier to just look at the visual. Next, I'm going to use the tag board to trace this shape onto the tag board, because the tag board is actually going to be my base. The cream colored paper was really to make the guide for this, and then I'm tracing it onto the tag board. And because it has sharper and more angular edges, I'm then just cutting around, making more of a circle shape that I can work with. You can totally work with it as the shape that it is, but I personally just wanted to make it a circle. So that's going to be my base for my flower. You then want to make a mark at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock on your page. So basically 4 marks that are equally spaced apart. You can use the pencil markings that you already have, or you can use a ruler. I just used the pencil markings from that my tracing from the cream colored, because it does have 4 equal points. So why you want to do that is because these first petals that you're going to glue down, you want them equally spaced. And of course you can eyeball this without equally spacing things and just kind of glue the petals down, but I like to equally space them just to make sure it all looks even. So at your first point, at your 12 o'clock point, you're going to glue your first petal down about 2 inches down from the edge. That's why I'm using the ruler. And of course, like I said before, you can eyeball this. You don't have to use a ruler. So you're going to flatten that point, glue it on the back, and then glue it down 2 inches in. And you can see I'm doing this for all 4 points that I marked with a pencil. Now that you have the 4 points down, you're going to want to put 3 petals in between each point that you've glued down. And at this point, I'm more eyeballing it. I'm not using the ruler since I know kind of where 2 inches is because of where the other ones are placed. So I start with the middle one. I put it equally between the 2 that are already glued. And then I do the other 2 equally spaced in between the ones that I have glued down already. And I continue doing this for this first layer all the way around the circle, and you'll get pretty evenly spaced petals down, put down for your first layer. And you continue to do this throughout your first layer, and then I'll show you how to do the second layer. All right, for the second layer, you are then going to place it just a little bit further down than the first layer, further more towards the inside, and then in between each of the first layer petals. So you can see I'm placing it on top of that space that's on the first layer and just a little bit down so the points of your petals aren't even. The points of the second layer are a little bit further in. And you're going to continue doing this all throughout the second layer. It's turning out so cute. And then for the third layer and then beyond, it's basically the same thing. You're going to bring in that layer so the point of the third layer is a little bit more inside than the second layer. Glue it down. And with this layer, because it gets a little more tight within the area you're working with, you might not be able to put a petal in between equally in between each of the ones on the second level. You might run out of room, which is totally fine. Just at this point, start focusing on placing the petals close together so there's no real gaps in between them. That's your main focus there. Just continue doing this, each of the layers, until you come down to about your last 2. So my last 2, I am flattening the ends, and you might have to flatten them even further than you did on the other ones and kind of bend it so that it isn't sticking out far and is placed a little further down since this is your center. Kind of place it down, play around with it. If you happen to run out of paper at this point, feel free to cut more paper and make a few more. So once I get the placement down a little bit on that, I take them out And because the tips are overlapping each other, I glued them together. And then I'm gonna glue it down into the center. So I glue that bottom part down, and because it's hard for me to reach my fingers down in there, I use a pencil to press down those final petals, or anything, pen, pencil, anything you can get down in there to just finalize and press down for those final petals. And there you go, it's finished. It's so cute. You can use so many different papers. I wanted to do a newspaper one, or like magazine pages. Use your imagination, tag me in the craft after, I wanna see it, and there it is.
Well, I hope your craft turned out so amazing. One thing I forgot to tell you to do that you can do is how to hang it. So I attached just a piece of string in the back. I taped it on, because they're super light. And I also hid the string. You can have it come out if you want to show, where you're hanging it. But when I hang it, I don't really want to see the string. I just want to see the dahlia. So that is a simple way to be able to hang your dahlia. And you can do all different sizes, all different types of paper, and just get creative with it. And when you do, I love to see your crafts, so please tag us at Social Crafts or hashtag Social Crafts, and I will get to see your finished product. Also, I love being in touch with you further than just YouTube, so go to our Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest right here. You can see everything, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and just connect with us there, follow us there for new ideas, all these other craft ideas, some hosting ideas, and that's where you can find us further. And also, of course, thumbs up this video if you liked it. It helps me out tremendously. And subscribe to get all of our new videos. Ring the little bell icon so you can get notified of my new videos, and I would just so appreciate it. And we have lots more crafts coming for you, so until next time, I'll see you then.